Good evening and welcome to tonight's coverage of the Pitching In Northern Premier League match between Marine and Stalybridge Celtic, live from the Marine Travel Arena. Recent struggles in the league have seen Marine drop to 10th in the Northern Premier League, but a good point at Radcliffe keeps them just 3 points off the playoffs. Stalybridge Celtic are currently 14th in the league, but have won 4 of their last 7 league games, including a 2-0 win over Gainsborough Trinity 10 days ago. Commentating for you tonight is me, Luke Feather, and I'm joined by Tom Wardle. So what are your memories of the reverse fixture, Tom?
I think looking back on it, the players and the staff will be thinking it's a game that probably should have taken all 3 points from. It wasn't to be on the day. So coming into tonight, I think obviously we've been playing a lot of teams in and around the top area of the table. This evening's Stalybridge a few places below us, and I think it's a chance to amend that reverse fixture early in the season.
We'll get onto the lineup in just a moment, but how do you expect Marine to play tonight, Tom?
Well, just a couple of changes of Lewis Hill stepping into the team. I think he'll provide a bit more control in that midfield. Obviously, the surface from tonight compared to Saturday is a lot different. We saw glimpses of what Joe Bunny can do, and hopefully he can provide some attacking areas and some goals for us this evening.
So, kick-off fast approaching. We'll run through the two teams, starting with the home side. So in goal, it's number 1, Liam Isherwood. Number 2, Josh Solomon Davis. Number 3, Sean Smith. Number 4, Lewis Earl. Number 5, the captain, Josh Wardle. Number 6, Johnny Spittle. Number 7, James Barragan. Number 8, Charlie Doyle. Number 9, Joe Bunny. Number 10, Sol Solomon. And number 11, Andrew Scarisbrick. On the bench for Marine, it's number 12, Luke Clark. Number 13, Germano Mendez. Number 14, Alex Doyle. Number 15, Jordan Lussey. And number 16, Lucas Weir. And for Stalybridge Celtic tonight is number 1, Greg Hall. Number 2, the captain, Tom Miller. Number 3, Raheem Hanley. Number 4, Kyle Harrison. Number 5, Darius Waldron. Number 6, Domain Rouse. Number 7, DJ Pedro. Number 8, Ethan Padden. Number 9, Raul Carrera. Number 10, Chris Dagnall. And number 11, Harry Benz. And on the bench for Stalybridge, it's number 12, Godwin Abadaki. Number 15, Jacob Lara. Number 16, Glebs Klevevs. Number 17, Connor Leach. And number 18, Aaron Grewal. So 2 changes for Marine tonight as Lewis Earl and James Barragan come in for Jordan Lussey and Mo Torre, who misses out completely. A rare substitute appearance for Germano Mendez. Jordan Lussey dropping out of the team. What are your thoughts on that, Tom?
Yeah, obviously we've got games coming thick and fast. Jordan's been playing a lot on the side recently, and it might be a thought of fresh legs in there. James Barragan, from my memory, it might be his first start in a good while, so we know what he can bring to the side.
It's interesting to see whether Lewis Earl steps into midfield tonight or in a back 3. We've seen him operate in both positions in recent weeks. Of course, Charlie Doyle, one of the first names on the team sheet in that midfield. Joe Bunny, the new man, of course, up front, ran his socks off on Saturday against Radcliffe. Really put himself about. Service to him, not quite up to scratch, but had a penalty shout moments before the first penalty for Radcliffe on Saturday. Of course, if you were not at the game on Saturday or you did not listen to the commentary, you might be wondering where Bailey Passant is tonight. Fortunately for Bailey, he's picked up a freak injury, which will keep him out of action for the next few weeks. First start on Saturday for Liam Isherwood. A mixed afternoon for him, but ended the afternoon a hero. Gave away the first penalty before denying Radcliffe a second and all 3 points. They'll be looking to build on that tonight, the on-loan goalkeeper from Accrington Stanley. So a very defensive-looking bench. A lot of holding midfielders, a goalkeeper, of course. If Marine are looking to change it up tonight, Tom, what would your suggestions be?
I think we know the strengths when it comes to playing the ball on the floor. I think getting Sol Solomon involved in the game as much as possible. We've seen the last couple of home games, especially that one against Stafford. He's the man who can change a game, especially if it's tight. And we know Stalybridge are going to be tight at the back and they're going to make it a difficult evening for us.
One thing that the starting lineup does suggest is that we will be playing with 2 strikers tonight rather than a front 3. Solomon you would hope to see in a more central position. He was very, very wide on Saturday. Wasn't close enough to Joe Bunny really for the two to link up effectively. With no Torre in the squad tonight, that just leaves Solomon and Bunny to lead the line. Hopefully we can start to see a partnership blossom between those two. Solomon, the top goal scorer, still at the club, of course, with his 10 goals this season. Hayden Campbell no longer with the club. He's doing well for himself up at Curzon, 2 goals in 3 games since he left Marine. The two teams will have a slightly delayed kick-off this evening. A little bit of
9 Joe Bunny, 10 Sol Solomon, and 11 Andy Stalybridge. Submariners this evening at 12 Lynn Clark, 13 Giovanni Mendes, 14 Alex Doyle, 15 Joe.
A little bit of delay on the M57 on the way up here for Stalybridge Celtic, means that we will kick off just a couple of minutes after our scheduled kick-off time. Marine, as always, at the Marine Travel Arena, will line up in white, black, black. Stalybridge in blue and white. Will be Stalybridge to get us underway, attacking the Crescendo way end. In this first half, Marine shooting towards the College Road end. With number 10, Chris Dagnall, to get us underway. We're on a cold February night in Crosby. It's Marine versus Stalybridge Celtic. In the Northern Premier League, and we are underway. As Dagnall plays the ball back to Kyle Harrison, who has the first chance to play it long of the evening. Looking forward quickly up for Carrera. Benz comes across but is unable to find a Stalybridge man as Barragan tries to play it forward. Goalkeeper Greg Hall quickly out of his area to clear away from Bunny. Carrera looks to make strides forward. Strong challenge from Spittle. Now Solomon Davis has it out wide. Looking to beat his man for pace. Has to just cut back into the box now. Solomon Davis, brilliant run. A tame effort with his left foot, but good early signs there from Solomon Davis, Tom.
Yeah, he's pushing up. Puts a lot of pressure on early on there. High press. He's won the ball and got his reward, and just unfortunate that final ball in the end. But yeah, great start by Josh Solomon Davis.
Inside the first minute, Solomon Davis getting his first run into the penalty area. Good strong run from the right back there. He's got it wide now. Square ball to Sean Smith, who's come inside, looking to play it forward up towards Scarisbrick. Rouse makes the challenge, but Scarisbrick gets it back. And here's Charlie Doyle now, looking to play a low ball into the box. Good challenge again by Rouse. Solomon Davis back to Earl. Swings the ball in towards Scarisbrick. He flicks it on. Comfortable pickings for Greg Hall in goal. Looks to get the ball moving again quickly. Here's the ex-Mariner DJ Pedro. Strong challenge in there by James Barragan.
Yeah, early signs, both fullbacks pushing really high up the pitch, putting pressure on the Stalybridge back line. Starting on the front foot here, Marine.
Second home game running. Marine playing against a former striker of theirs, DJ Pedro, down in the number 7 shirt for Stalybridge Celtic tonight. Scored just for 1 goal during his time at Marine against South Shields. As Padden looks to nod it forward for Stalybridge. And here's Benz in a wide right position. Looks to cut back onto his left foot into the penalty area now. Dinks it towards the back post, headed away by Solomon Davis. Picked up now by Rouse, about 30 yards from goal. Left-footed cross into the box away from Wardle. Might just fall for the captain Miller. Caught it fairly sweetly on the half volley, but comfortably over in the end.
It wasn't a bad effort from the fullback there, was it? Tom Miller was there to be it.
A few sarcastic cheers there as the floodlights finally joined us this evening. Here's Isherwood's first involvement of the night with the goal kick. Looking for the new number 9, Joe Bunny. Bounces over him and Solomon Davis can flick it on. Solomon has come across to pick it up on the right wing. Strong challenge in there by Harrison. And it's out for a Marine throw-in. About 10 yards from the corner flag. Solomon Davis will take in the absence of Jordan Lussey tonight, the usual long throw specialist. Throw in towards Solomon. Might run out for a corner, but no, it's cleared away by Waldron. Flicked on by Carrera, but there's no one ahead of him. So Wardle will sweep up here. Spittle now back to the Marine captain, Josh Wardle. Long diagonal looking for Solomon Davis. Great ball from Wardle. Lays it back off for Earl. Earl looking to dink one quickly over the top for Scarisbrick. Too much pace on that one and out for a goal kick.
Yeah, good play initially from Wardle, picking up Solomon Davis, who's really making that right wing his own early on. Making it a few problems for Raheem Hanley.
I think that looks to be the side that they are targeting, down that right-hand side for Marine. Solomon Davis venturing forward a couple of times. So a goal kick for Greg Hall. Wide, looking for Correa. Scarisbrick looking to pick it up, but Rouse can play it forward quickly, looking for Correa. Isherwood out of his box quickly to clear out for a throw-in.
I think just a little apprehensive there, Liam Isherwood, between himself and Lewis Earl. Just dealt with it in the end.
Hanley steps up to take the throw-in for the visitors. Just looking for a couple of options ahead of him. Not pleased with what's been offered so far, but he throws it in for Dagnall. Tries to return ball to Hanley, good challenge in there. Out for another throw-in. Taken quickly to Padden. Hanley looking to play it into Dagnall. Just holds on for it for a second too long. Hanley can shift it back onto his left foot though. Good challenge in the penalty area. Rouse just holding on to it well in the end. The manages to almost get past Earl, but Earl recovers well, and there's Doyle in there to make the challenge. Solomon Davis tries to spark a counter-attack quickly down the line. Inaccurate with that one.
Struggling to get a foot in there, the Marine back line. Is Correa moving forward? Could prove to be a problem this evening.
Hanley with a direct throw in towards Pedro. Back to Hanley, looks to make the switch of play to the opposite fullback, Miller. It's ball down the line, cut out by Sean Smith, and now Solomon can stretch his legs for the first time. Good challenge in there from Rouse. Referee Alan Bennett blows his whistle. Free kick on the halfway line. Not happy with the late challenge in there from Solomon. Miller will take just in front of the dugouts on the halfway line. Will go long from this free kick, headed away by Wardle. Here's Miller now again. The little back heel. Back to Waldron. He plays a first time ball, looking to exploit in behind Marines left back Sean Smith, but he dealt with it well, out for a throw in. Which Miller will step up to take. It's a good long throw into the box from Miller. It's headed away though, only as far as Miller. He will get a second attempt, but there's a challenge in there from Sean Smith, and it's out for another throw in.
Early signs are Marine pushing with their fullback Solomon Davis, and it's the same on the other side of Stalybridge. The captain Tom Miller causing problems with the long throw-ins.
Yet another long throw in to come into the penalty area. Marine getting a taste of their own medicine here. In towards the near post. It's flicked on centrally, but I think Marine will just about be able to see that away. And here's Scarisbrick down the line looking for Earl, who was the only man ahead of him. It's a good challenge in there. It's out for a throw-in for Marine. Just inside their own half, over on the right-hand side. Down the line looking for Bunny, but it's headed away by Hanley. Good footwork in there from Dagnall, lays it back off to Hanley, but he makes an absolute hash of a clearance. Out for throwing.
Yeah, I think you forget when Jordan Luss isn't in the team, does take out that dynamic of throw-ins into the box, and got to figure out a way to get the ball in the danger zone another way.
Hill plays it quickly into Barragan. Barragan returns it to Will. There was a bit of a short back pass there from Wardle back to Isherwood, but Isherwood came out well and cleared. Only as far as Hanley, who produces a clearance of his own and out for a throw-in. News of a couple of goals in the Northern Premier League. Gainsborough Trinity have taken an early lead at home to Marske United, and Radcliffe currently trail at home to Belper Town. So a big goal in the race for the playoffs in the Northern Premier League. Belper currently second bottom in the table. Solomon looks to get away down the right hand side, but there's a good challenge in there from Waldron. Clearance goes out of play. Earl quickly gets us going again with a big throw of his own over towards Wardle. Returns it to Earl. Big diagonal from Earl. Scarisbrick can head it on. Looking for Bunny. Bunny just with a signal there. Wanted Scarisbrick to try and take it down with his chest rather than head it on for the number 9.
Yeah, I think he already made his mind up, Scarisbrick, with the flat of the ball coming his way, but as Bunny said, Bunny was signalling chest and lay it off to the striker. Could have been the better option.
Hall with a very central and low kick out. It's met by, I think it's Charlie Doyle in there with the header, but only as far as Hanley. Better clearance this time from the left back up towards Correa. Can't quite take it down and find a teammate with it. Earl to clear up towards Bunny. Good hold up play from Bunny into Scarisbrick, and now here's Solomon. It's Solomon Davis now. Slightly taken too far wide. Tried the shot from a fairly tight angle and might have been the incorrect decision.
Yeah, it's not many times we say Josh Solomon Davis made the wrong decision, but he did there. Both James Barragan and Andy Scarisbrick furious with the full back coming in, the back post.
Not known for his goal scoring, Solomon Davis.
Can see why.
Greg Hall will get us back underway. Goalkeeper for Stalybridge. His clearance is headed away by Doyle, but it will come again, and it's cool defending by Johnny Spittle. Just to nod it back to Isherwood. Johnny Spittle been very consistent in recent weeks. One of Marine's star performers for sure. Long ball forward from Isherwood. Might just bounce over the head of one defender into Solomon. What a finish from Sol Solomon. It was a goal from nothing for Solomon. A long ball forward from Isherwood. It bounced over the head of Kyle Harrison. Fell into the path of Sol Solomon, who wasted no time in getting his shot away. A Marine lead.
Well, we mentioned him before the game, didn't we, Solomon? As you say, goal out of nothing, that's what he can do. I mean, you're always certain he's going to find the back of the net as it teed up nicely for the volley. Smashed it in the bottom corner. It's a great start for Marine.
11th goal of the season for Sol Solomon. What a signing he's been since joining from Jersey Bulls. Adds to his tally tonight. Marine needed an early goal tonight, I think. In recent weeks, we've left it late against Stafford Rangers and against Ashton United. A goal just 12 minutes in today gives Marine a lead in the first half.
Looking at it from a Stalybridge Celtic point of view, really poor goals. Just a ball that let bounce down the middle. Great header in there by Scarisbrick to keep it alive, but it's not when you need 12 minutes into a away game on a Tuesday night.
Kyle Harrison with the clearance this time, the man who stepped up and made the mistake for the goal, but his clearance is cleared away in its own right, and here's Solomon Davis into Doyle and back to Lewis Earl, who spotted Sean Smith in space. Tries to play the quick ball into the penalty area, searching for the goal scorer Solomon. It's cut out. Good running in there from Barragan to put the challenge in on Hanley. Hanley gets it back now and into Dagnall. Here is Correa. Back to Rouse, and Rouse can switch over towards Miller. Lays it off for Harrison. A lot more convincing with the clearance this time. Up towards Pedro, takes a tumble under the challenge from Wardle. Cleared away once more. Wardle slices the clearance, really. It's dealt with by Miller, back to Hall. Just about got away with not the most convincing clearance over towards Hanley. Hanley with the long ball up towards Pedro, and Pedro cutting there a frustrated figure up there at the moment.
Early signs of Marine started really aggressively this evening. Pressure, even fullbacks pressing high up. Barragan's been chasing after second balls, and it's just putting Stalybridge out under a lot of pressure, as we've just seen by goalkeeper Greg Hall.
Long ball forward from Isherwood is not so good this time. Cut out by Hanley into the feet of Pedro. Shifts it wide for Miller. Looks the return ball down the line for Pedro. There was a late challenge in there from Smith. It's out for Stalybridge throwing. Miller once again will step up and take. Quickly this time into the feet of Dagnall. Back to Miller. Here's Harrison. Diagonal in towards the penalty area. It's headed away, but might just fall for Rouse. Good tracking in there from Scarisbrick. And he's away from Rouse. Looks to play the ball down the line for Bunny. Gives him something to chase. Keeps it in, and not the best second touch, and it's out for a throw in a left back position for Stalybridge.
Does that so well, doesn't he? Andy Scarisbrick just nipping in. Just when you think he's got no chance of winning the ball, he slips in and creates the attack out of nothing.
Marske United have equalised at Gainsborough Trinity, a goal that sees Marine go level on points with Gainsborough. Still a lot of football to be played tonight. As Benz looks to slide in Pedro, good challenge in there from Charlie Doyle, out for first corner of the evening. Stalybridge are a dangerous side in good form, 5th in the form table with 11 points from their last 6 games. They've got the chance from a set piece now, 16 minutes in towards the near post. It's headed away. Maybe Solomon could make something of this. He just lays it off into the feet of Scarisbrick. Scarisbrick darting centrally now. Good wide ball over towards Solomon Davis, cropped up on the left wing. Might just cut in and try his luck. He does towards the near post. Dealt with fairly comfortably in the end by Greg Hall, but that was another big chance for Marine there, Tom.
Yeah, I think Solomon Davis just couldn't quite believe he ended up in that left wing position with the goal opening up to him. So did better than he did on his last occasion. Got the shot on goal. That's all he can do from that situation. But brilliant again from Solomon and Scarisbrick. They started really well this opening 20 or so minutes.
Every time Marine get into a decent position at the minute, it just seems to be falling for Solomon Davis. You would not have expected him to crop up in that sort of inside left position there on the edge of the penalty area. Barragan gives away a free kick inside his own half. It would be a decent position for a cross here for Stalybridge. The left back, Raheem Hanley, coming up to take. It's a left-footed option over on the right-hand side, so looking to bend one in towards the far post, you would assume. Similar position to where James Barragan scored one of his free kicks last season, for anyone that was present. It is in towards the back post. It's dealt with initially by Spittle. Further away in the end by Sean Smith, who looks to switch it quickly over towards Solomon. Into Scarisbrick once again, and it's those two live wires linking up once again down the left-hand side. Back to Solomon, to the penalty area now. Square ball behind Barragan and cleared away. Pedro tries to let the clearance run through his legs, but Wardle read it all the way. Here's Solomon Davis over on the right-hand side where he's much more comfortable. Good challenge in there from Harry Benz. Out for a throw-in.
It's that pair again, Scarisbrick and Solomon on the counter-attack. They look dangerous every time they come forward. Just that cut back, just slightly behind Barragan coming in, but it's the right idea again from the Mariners.
Here is Barragan with a loose touch from Solomon Davis's throw-in. Away from Ben, into the chest of Correa. All the way back with Miller now, who lays it off for his goalkeeper Hall. More convincing this time with the clearance is the goalkeeper. Spittle heads away. I might just fall for Pedro. Lays it off for Dagnall. Looks to play a quick one down the line. Away from Wardle. Waldron comes across to clear first time into the feet of Rouse. And now here's Ben. Ben's into Correa. Wide now for Pedro. Crosses in towards the centre. Bounces over Correa, who's coming in at the back post. Solomon Davis stops it from going out of play for a throw-in. Here's the right back. Here's Earl, who is operating on that right-hand side of the of a back three. Tries the long ball forward, but it's run through to Hall. For Waldron tries a long ball forward of his own, looking for the run of Harry Benz, but the linesman over on that far side, Daniel Chadwick, with his flag up. What do you make of the opening 20 minutes, Tom?
Yeah, I think they've been excellent this open 20 minutes. Marine started on the front foot, really aggressive, and deserved their goal by that man against Solomon. And I think the old team's just looks really on it tonight, really sharp, and I think it's only going one way at the moment.
One ball forward from Isherwood, eventually falls for Solomon. Chests it down for Bunny, but his effort was blocked on the edge of the penalty area. Cleared away, and Spittle just took a tumble for a second, but manages to find his footing and play it back to Wardle, who comfortably plays it back to Isherwood. Bit more of a loose clearance this time, but Solomon might be able to pick it up. No. And there's a... I think the referee's given a free kick there for a high boot against Solomon, which seems a little bit harsh. He wasn't really close to the head of Harrison, who stooped down, if anything, to head it away.
It all came from Stalybridge giving the ball away cheaply again. Certainly don't look too comfortable. The ball at their feet and across the back line.
Stalybridge Celtic manager Chris Wilcox, someone that will know all about Marine. Was Workington manager last season, but Scarisbrick might be able to play it into Bunny. Cuts back in onto his left foot, tries his luck. Good block in there from Harrison. It's Barragan now, spreads it wide for Smith. Adjacent to the penalty area. Thought about the cross, but just tracks back and chooses to keep possession. Plays it back to Wardle. Back out wide now with Barragan. An unorthodox tackle in there from Miller. Lays it back off for Hall. Big clearance from the goalkeeper up towards Pedro. There's Correa jostling for position. Out for a throw-in.
Not Route Ron defending that. Johnny Spittle stopping the throw and taking quickly.
Harrison just wanted a little bit too much time with his ball forward. Solomon wasn't about to allow him any. It's a throw-in for Celtic. Captain Miller with another absolute launcher of a throw-in down the line, but it's away from Sean Smith now. Looking up towards Bunny, headed away by Harrison. Solomon with a lovely outside of a boot. Cross over towards Scarisbrick. Here's Solomon Davis in towards the back post. Just evades everyone. Joe Bunny. Solomon coming in to that 6-yard area.
Yeah, he's terrorising that right side, Solomon Davis. I think it's the fact that the Stalybridge back four can't deal with the wing backs on either side from Marine. There again, he made the right option, maybe just a little bit too much pace on the cross.
Wonderful spread of play from Solomon there in the build up to that one. The outside of his boot over towards Solomon Davis, who has been probably the most involved player on the pitch in this first half. I feel like I've mentioned his name more than anyone else. Ball forward from Hall, and here's Stalybridge winning the ball back in the middle of a pitch, as he does so often. Spreads it wide to the full back again, Solomon Davis. Deep one in towards the back post, fairly wasteful from Solomon Davis, over the heads of everyone.
I think the only thing that'll be concerning Neil Young at the moment is that we haven't gone more than one goal ahead. We've already seen in games like this, last home game against Ashton, that when you're on top, you've got to make these chances count, put the game to bed.
Has been the problem for Marine this season. Before today, they'd had the second best defence in the league, but they were 10th in terms of goals scored, which just about sums it up. Very tight at the back. Only South Shields have conceded less, but seriously slacking in the goals department. Hoping that the signing of Joe Bunny on loan from Macclesfield will help to rectify that. Craig Curran continues his recovery as well. There was no Torre in the squad tonight, hearing that he picked up a knock in training midweek. Last week, sorry. Here's Smith. There's it into Barragan, looking to play it in towards Solomon in behind. Dealt with by combination of Harrison and Hall. Goalkeeper with the ball in hand now. Just looking for a couple of options ahead of him. Takes his time with this one. Ball up towards Pedro, who I think just about won that one. Correa looks to return the ball in the direction of Pedro, where Chris Dagnall had made a run. Final touch came off a Marine man and out for a corner.
Yeah, just unfortunate touch, I think. The toe of Johnny Spittle.
25 minutes played. If you are just joining us, Marine lead by a goal to nil. Long ball forward from new goalkeeper Liam Isherwood. Bounce over the head of Kyle Harrison, allowing Sol Solomon to race through on goal. Half volley into the bottom left corner. So this corner's taken quickly. And short, lays back off for Hanley. Wasteful, hits Solomon Davis there. Here's Padden trying to make something work down the right wing with Dagnall. Good challenge in there from Sean Smith. And Miller thought about offering his services from a long throw in, but Hanley, the left back, is going to take it in a right back position. Lays it off to Miller. Challenging there from Stalybridge once again to get past Miller. He keeps going with the ball, Stalybridge. Maybe just wanted a little bit too much time on it. Good challenge in there from Dagnall, tracking back. And Miller can clear up the pitch. And it won't run out of play, and Wardle has to deal with it. Not the best clearance, but Spittle manages to get it away. And now Sean Smith has it nicked off his toe by Pedro, who hits the deck, but then has the ball nicked off him by Sean Smith. Good switch of play over towards Solomon Davis. It's Charlie Doyle just keeping possession for Marine. Lewis Earl, slight deflection on his ball forward. A slice of luck. Earl gets it again and is wiped out after trying to find Bunny with the clearance. Asking the question of the referee, that was a fairly late challenge on him, but it'll be nothing more than a free kick.
Yeah, I think it's just a bit of frustration by Ethan Padden. His side struggling to get a hold in this game. Struggling to get any sort of possession going in attacking areas as Marine is so dominant in the first half.
So a free kick taken by Isherwood. Headed away by Hanley on the edge of his own penalty area. Comes again, but headed away once again by the left back. Doyle in there trying to keep it alive. Good leap from the number 8. Solomon can't control that one, and away once again by Hanley and further away from Benz. Wardle into the ball back for Marine. He's Pedro to the ball. Here is Wardle into the feet of Barragan. Out wide now with Smith. Down the line finds Scarisbrick, who manages to tap it around his man, takes a bit of a tumble. Under the challenge from Domain Rouse. Asked the question of the referee. I think he went down a little bit too easily for me there, Tom.
Yeah, it was a brave decision by the referee with Marine dugout on his backside, but as I say, a bit soft by Scarisbrick. But
Referee gives a free kick after Charlie Doyle is tucked back in the centre of the pitch, but here's Solomon Davis now. Back to Lewis Earle. One touch to set it, and then another one into the back post. Sean Smith might keep it alive into Solomon now. Oh, he's closed down quickly as Greg Hall was absolutely in no man's land. Falls for Scarisbrick now, 20 yards from goal. Back off to Earle. Another one into the box. Flicked on by Bunny. Not enough power on that one. Good play again from Marine.
yeah, they've been one of the best first halves I've seen from Marine in a long time. Outstanding every part of the pitch so far. Scarisbrick been the standout. Every time he gets the ball, he's trying to make something happen.
Scarisbrick has breathed a new breath of life into Marine since joining the club. 3 goals to his name so far, and the way he's playing tonight, you would back him to add to his tally. He's been absolutely everywhere on that pitch, making challenges, driving forward. Lewis Earle with another big switch of play. Not his first one tonight. Over towards Smith, infield now for Barragan. Back to Earle. Young defender on loan from Chester. Into the feet of Charlie Doyle. Looking to drive forward now. He's got a run in behind from Solomon. Across goal. Caught up by Harrison. In for Bunny. And how's he missed? Solomon made a fantastic run in the inside right channel. Tried to play the ball across goal. It was cut out well by Kyle Harrison. It fell for Solomon again, who dinked it back across goal, and Bunny couldn't connect with the back of the net from a couple of yards out. Another big chance goes begging there, Tom.
Yeah, he couldn't do any more there, could he? Solomon's great defender in the first block, and he just thought he had to put it in first time again, and he did. Slightly a bit too high for Joe Bunny, but just got to hope we don't ruin his missed chances later on in the game, because he's so dominant so far. It's just one-way traffic at the moment. Stalybridge can't contain the Marine pressure.
Goal at the top of the table in the Northern Premier League. South Shields are a goal to be good against Liversidge, and Radcliffe have found an equaliser at home to Belper Town. Everything else as it was. Long ball forward from Greg Hall, looking to put that earlier shaky moment behind him. With a long ball forward. Here's Benz now, picks it off of Solomon Davis into Correa. Tries his luck from a long way out, blocked from Wardle, falls for Pedro out wide. He's closed down quickly by Barragan.
Well, just like that though, it's 2 shots that kind of came out of nothing there for the visitors. Got to say, switched on at all times, especially with a slender lead.
Another chance to get the centre-backs forward for Stalybridge as Hanley comes across over to the right-hand side to swing in a corner with his left foot. A little bit of holding and tussling in the penalty area, but the ball does go in. It's headed away. And picked up now by, I think it's Scarisbrick back there. Nicked off of Doyle as he tried to clear his lines. In the end, Marine do get it away. Throwing in a left-back position for Stalybridge. Here's Hanley. Launched down the line. Headed away by Earle. Another one who's put in a very solid first-half performance. Brilliant ball forward now from Scarisbrick. Go up towards Bunny. Plays it back off for Charlie Doyle. Infield now with Barragan. In towards the back post where Scarisbrick thought about making the run. But in the end opted against it. But they do zip it around nicely in these areas, don't they?
I think you just need to go bit further to his left, Sean Smith in Acres again. The wing backs from Marine truly damaging Stalybridge defence. Can't keep up with them at the moment.
Another long kick up the field from Greg Hall is met by Wardle. And the second ball is won by Doyle. Pedro goes up. And the free kick goes Stalybridge's way.
Not too sure what more Josh Wardle could have done there. The ball's there to be won. Got his foot to it.
Referee just checking that Wardle is okay after taking a bit of a bump to the head there. Physio will be allowed to offer the Marine skip a bit of treatment.
He's just having a word of an unhappy Neil Young following that challenge.
Not one to mince his words on the side of the pitch, is he, Neil? Kyle Harrison will get us back underway with a free kick. Have a chance to get bodies forward for Stalybridge, who have looked fairly lively at times on the counter-attack. On the whole, Marine have managed to nullify their attacking threat. Long ball forward from Harrison in towards the back post is headed away by a Marine man. Further away up towards Bunny. Wins the header but unable to chase his own flick on. Cleared away by Waldron. Cleared away, but it's won in there by Charlie Doyle brilliantly. Switched over towards the left back, Sean Smith, and Marine will come again. Solomon with Miller for company out on this left-hand side. Cuts back into his right, in towards Bunny. Cleared away by Rouse. Can Smith take it down in the penalty area? He's got Dagnall for company. Barragan overlapping. Gets the first time cross into the box. Solomon with the header. Absolutely no power behind the header.
Yeah, I think he wasn't too sure if the ball was going to come his way or not. Solomon, he just got his head to the ball, but as you say, didn't really put too much venom in the effort. That's why it was a simple one for Greg Hall.
Further into one of the corners, or a bit more power downwards, and that was a certain second goal for Solomon. Solomon Davis looks to clear down the line where Solomon is waiting, but Benz nicks it off of Solomon. Long ball up towards Pedro from Benz, but it's cleared away by Spittle. Not the best touch there from Padden. Lays it back off for Rouse in the centre of the pitch. It's the ball back off of Padden. Into the feet now of Benz. Padden will come again. He's got a little bit of space in the centre of the pitch, but Scarisbrick's in there with another strong challenge. Cleared away by Smith up towards Bunny, but Harrison able to deal with that one. It's not the best ball out wide from Rouse. Runs out of play ahead of Hanley. Will be a Marine throw-in on the halfway line.
Again, though, just those little footings by Andy Scarisbrick mean the world of difference for that defence, helping him out. He's doing his work at both ends of the pitch brilliantly well so far.
Under 10 minutes to go till the half-time whistle now. Marine lead by that Sol Solomon goal in the 12th minute. His 11th since joining Marine. Throw down the line from Earl. It's cleared away, but Earl gets another chance to play it quickly forward. Scarisbrick can head it on. Solomon will give chase, but Harrison is the favourite and does manage to clear his lines. Headed away by Wardle, but Padden looks to spark a counter-attack for Stalybridge, but nothing given. Long ball forward again from Earl, this time unable to find Solomon. Rouse is lucky as Scarisbrick was in there sniffing for the ball, but manages to get it over to Padden now, wide to Benz. Cuts in on his right foot, on the edge of a penalty area, tries his luck, closed down well by Solomon Davis. Not the best pass infield from Solomon Davis, gave Charlie Doyle no chance of sweeping that one up. And it's a loose ball in the end, out for a goal kick. Just need to be wary of his counter-attacks, don't we, Tom?
Yeah, especially only 1-0 to the good, despite being so dominant in the game. There's always a chance for the away side, and you always think there's going to be a period in the match where you're going to have a spell of opportunities. I think Liam Isherwood's yet to make a save in this game, but I think at some point he may be called into action. How competitive the NPL is.
If results were to stay as they are, Marine would jump up to 7th in the table. Stalybridge, as it stands, would remain in 14th. Not many goals scored by the teams below them. It's the one from Marsk and the one from Belper. Two sides currently occupying a place in the relegation zone. Hanley gets the ball moving again quickly with a square throw in over towards Harrison. Looking to drive forward from the back. Lays it back off for Dagnall, who's dropped deep to play it forward over towards Miller, who'd made a run down the right wing. Closed down by Smith, and Barragan coming across to help out. The last touch came off of Miller. According to the linesman, it's out for a goal kick. Looked a tight one there.
It's going to be interesting to see how these final few minutes of the first half fizzle out. If Stalybridge will just be content with being a goal down at the break and try and regroup at half time, or if they will try and nick one and give it balance at the break, we'll get to find out.
About 5 minutes to go plus added time. You wouldn't imagine there'd be too much added on. Maybe a minute. It's about knock to Josh Wardle on the goal, of course. Long ball searching for Scarisbrick, but it falls out wide now for Solomon Davis, who's got an overlapping run from Charlie Doyle into the penalty area. Cuts back onto his left foot, in towards the back post, headed away by Pedro, back doing his defensive work. Loose from Dagnall, and Scarisbrick picks it up once again, all the way back to Wardle, who in turn plays it all the way back to the goalkeeper Isherwood. He's got plenty of time now to pick a pass, very central, looking up towards Bunny. Wins the head on, wide to Solomon Davis. Closed down now by Ben, so he plays it back to Lewis Earle. Tries to thread one into Bunny. He tried to turn and control at the same time, just a little bit loose with the touch. Right idea though, Tom.
Yeah, he's not afraid of a speculative pass, is he, Lewis Earle, and that one came off brilliantly to Joe Bunny, who did well in the build-up, winning the initial header, but slipped away from him that time.
Long ball forward from Hall. It's met by Smith, and it's out for a Stalybridge throw-in. Just in front of the away team's dugout. Wide now with Pedro. Good challenge in there on Pedro, and the linesman deemed the last touch to have come off of the Stalybridge man. Out for a Marine throw-in. Smith playing in a slightly more advanced position, as we've seen him for most of the season, as a left wing back.
I think at times the back five doesn't always suit us, but tonight I think it really has, with the wing backs bombing on. It's been a tough opening 40 or so minutes for the visitors.
My opinion, the back five gets the most out of Solomon Davis. You get to see him bombing forward more often than not. Lewis Earle has offered some brilliant protection behind him. Scarisbrick goes down under a challenge, but gets quickly back up to his feet. Solomon made the run down the left wing and won a throw in about 10 to 15 yards away from the corner flag. We'll leave it for Sean Smith. Quickly into Barragan, who can control with his left and turn and dart into the penalty area now. Tries to drive it across goal. Cleared away. Here's Pedro looking down the line for Correa, who will give chase, but it's swept up well by Wardle. Correa not giving up on this one though. Lewis Earle once again trying that long diagonal, looking for Bunny. Inaccurate this time. Rouse wanted a little bit too much time on the ball. Doyle made the challenge. Good switch out from Wardle. Here's Solomon Davis once again. He's got Hanley standing him up. Here's Earle. Threads it through to Scarisbrick, who's got loads of space in the penalty area. Across goal! Inches wide. from Andy Scarisbrick. What a pass once again from Lewis Earle.
Yeah, he opened up that back line with a brilliant pass, as you said, Lewis Earle. I think Scarisbrick was going for the cross, but wasn't too far away from that far post. Without the touch, just a little nick, and that would have been 2-0 before the break.
I know you said it earlier, Tom, but this is one of the best halves of football I've seen from Marine in a long time.
Just on another evening, you'd think it could be 3 or 4 up, and that's not even being out of order. I think some of the chances we've had got to be found in the back of the net on more occasions instead of relying on Solomon.
Long ball forward from Hall. It's met by Doyle. He tries to play it quickly forward again. Cleared away by Harrison. Isherwood off his line to come out and control and clear up towards Bunny. His head down is cleared away by Harrison, but here's Smith. Now Wardle looking to play it quickly up towards Bunny. Good defending by Waldron to clear. Ben's slightly loose with a touch, but Padden will pick it up. Looking for the run of Pedro down the right wing. Good challenge in there by Sean Smith. Cleared up towards Bunny, who left it as I think he'd come from an offside position. Waldron cleared away. Ball forward up towards Correa. Correa takes a tumble. Shouts for a penalty behind the goal from those travelling fans. What did you think of that one, Tom?
Oh, it didn't look like a smart one, did it, by Johnny Spittle? The bounce seemed to do him, and he got the wrong side of Raul Correa and got away with it in the end.
Solomon Davis in the centre of the pitch, looking to spread it over towards Scarisbrick on the left-hand side. Slight let-off there for Marine. Just a lapse of concentration there from Spittle. It's confirmation that 2 minutes have been added on at the end of the first half.
But just like that, as we were saying, you miss these chances, and out of nothing, could be going into half-time at 1-1.
It would have been a real kick in the teeth if Stalybridge were to be awarded a penalty there. Of course, did miss a penalty in the reverse fixture in the dying moments of the game. It was that man, Raul Carrera. Missed the chance to give his side a late winner. Wardle with a throw-in down the line, looking for Bunny, who did win the flick on, but Waldron was equal to it. Here's Benz. Looking to find Pedro across goal for Dagnall. And he just dragged it. I think Isherwood might have got a touch on that, out for a corner.
Yeah, I think it was a smart save in the end by Isherwood, called into action just seconds remaining of the first half, but had to stay alert there as Stalybridge found themselves a good opportunity inside the box. There's still a chance here for them.
That'll be the last thing that Neil Young wants right on the stroke of half-time after what's been a near-perfect half for his side. Maybe just lacking that final cutting edge in the penalty area. As Hanley comes across to take the corner. Not fully dealt with, and it's picked up by Padden once more. There's Dagnall trying to send one in towards the penalty area. In towards the near post. It's comfortable for Isherwood, and that should just about be all she wrote for the first half. Referee has a look at his watch. We have now played the 2 minutes that was signalled. Isherwood still has the ball in his hands as Correa not allowing him a moment to kick, but there is the referee's half-time whistle. Marine have been absolutely fantastic in this first half and have the goal to show for it as Solomon found the bottom left corner from a long ball from Liam Isherwood. 11th goal since joining Marine. And we go into the break at Marine 1, Stalybridge Celtic 0. Join us in 15 minutes for the second half. Good evening and welcome back to tonight's coverage of pitching in Northern Premier League. Marine currently a goal to the good against Stalybridge Celtic thanks to a 12th-minute strike from Sol Solomon. Racing behind the Stalybridge defence after a defensive error from Kyle Harrison. The players are just about making their way back onto the pitch, so I'll just run through some half-time scores while we wait for the referees to get everyone in position. So at half-time it's Atherton Collieries 0, Warrington Rylands 0. FC United of Manchester 0, Guiseley 0. Gainsborough Trinity 2, Marske United 1. Nantwich Town 0, Matlock Town 0. Radcliffe 2, Belper Town 1. South Shields 3, Liversedge 1. Warrington Town 1, Lancaster City 0. Whitby Town 0, Morpeth Town 0. Sol Solomon's just about ready to get us back underway. Attacking the crescendo way end in this second half. As per referee Alan Bennett kicks us off for the second 45. Marine looking to build on a strong first half. Saw them fire into the lead and up back into playoff contention. I'm joined by Tom Wardle tonight. What were your thoughts on the first half, Tom?
Yeah, I think Neil Young will just be asking for more of the same from his players. I think every single player in a white shirt in that first half was excellent, creating abundance of chances and just struggling to put them in the back of the net, which is not the first time we said that coming into a second half, but play anything like they did in the first half and it should be an easy afternoon for the Mariners.
Lewis Earl fizzes a ball in towards Solomon, who flicks it wide for Smith. Ball bouncing around on the edge of the Stalybridge box now, wide with Benz, who tries to find Correa. Dealt with by Wardle back there, and then Liam Isherwood slices his clearance out for a throw-in. I'll just issue a quick reminder of the Marine lineup. In goal, it's number 1, Liam Isherwood. Number 2, Josh Solomon Davis. 3, Sean Smith. 4, Lewis Earl. 5, Josh Wardle. 6, Johnny Spittle. 7, James Barrigan. 8, Charlie Doyle. 9, Joe Bunny. 10, Sol Solomon. And number 11, Andrew Scarisbrick. Hanley thought about taking the throw-in quickly, but now throws it short into Benz. Back to Hanley now. Loose with his pass back to Benz, and Solomon picks it up, but his pass forward is cut out by Waldron. Tries to make waves down the left wing. Solomon Davis just watches that one out of play.
Yeah, they've had to change something up going to second half. Stalybridge Celtic, they were second best to most of the game's outgoings in that first half. So expect them to be a little bit more on the front foot in the second 45.
Referee just having a quick word with Lewis Earl. Not sure, not happy with the position that the throw-in was taken from there. Gathered a few more yards when referee Alan Bennett was happy with. Good throw down the line from Earl. Bunny going in for it, headed out by Hanley, the left back. Solomon Davis thought about catching Hanley out of position quickly with a throw-in, but instead will drop the ball for Earl. Another one who was fantastic in that first half, Tom, Lewis Earl.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of his forward passes and ideas on the ball, he stimulated some great attacks for Marine. I think that's something different that we haven't seen any other player in the side. It's something that he brings to the team.
Ex-Mariner DJ Pedro looks to make his way down the right wing. Good strong challenge in there from Barrigan. The last touch came off of Pedro. Smith gets us back underway quickly. Solomon tries to flick the ball over Miller's head. In the end, the last touch came off a Marine man and out for a Stalybridge throw-in a right-back position this time.
Yeah, it just hasn't quite happened for DJ Pedro on his return to the MTA. I think Sean Smith's dealt with him superbly.
But what he will give you every week, as Marine fans will know, is 110% effort. DJ Pedro absolutely runs his socks off every week. Lewis Earl, a little bit of defending to do there, heads it back to Isherwood. Comfortable in the end. A little bit of pressure from Harry Benz. Isherwood with a central kick forward up towards Solomon. It's headed away. Here's Solomon Davis now, picks it up for Marine. Held on to it for a little bit too long, and Dagnall nicks it off him. There's Lewis Hill sweeping up. Square ball over to Wardle. Tries to find Solomon again. Doesn't quite run for him, and cleared away by Waldron. Out for a Marine throw-in, which for left-sided centre-back Josh Wardle will take hold of. Reminder of the Marine bench tonight. It's number 12, Luke Clark. Number 13, Germano Mendes. Number 14, Alex Doyle. Number 15, Jordan Lussey. And number 16, Lucas Weir. So it's very midfield-heavy bench. Plus the reserve goalkeeper, Germano Mendes. As Lewis Hill once again sweeps up for Marine out wide to Solomon Davis. Hill gets it back now under a bit of pressure from Benz. Does well to play it down the line. Headed on by Solomon. Here's Scarisbrick now. Wins the free kick.
Yeah, it's the best game he's had in a Marine shirt so far, Lewis Hill. Very composed on the ball, and he's doing everything right to this point in the game.
Tell you what, Tom, if we were to go for full time now, I think you'd have a tough time picking a man of a match for Marine so far. There's been so many good performances out there.
Yeah, like I say, everyone's given 110%. Some brilliant performances so far. Let's hope we can keep it up the full 90 minutes.
Here's Solomon standing over the free kick in a deep right position. Not the best from Solomon. Cut out, but manages to win it back. Square ball to Barragan. Great ball in behind for Smith. Falls as he crosses, but here's Bunny now. Or was it Earl, sorry? On his left foot. High and wide from Lewis Hill. First foot is put wrong this evening.
Yeah, I think you were wishing it was. Joe Buddy in that situation. That kind of range.
Craig Hall tries to catch the Marine team out with a quick goal kick, but in the end just concedes the throw-in. Has looked a little bit shaky at times, the Stalybridge goalkeeper. Here's the Marine stopper, Isherwood. Not the best clearance of his own, but Sean Smith will give chase. Better clearance this time from Hall out towards Pedro. Good challenge in there from Wardle, but Miller is able to play it down the line quickly for Benz. Hashes at it. Not the best effort from Chris Dagnall, sorry, on his right foot.
Yeah, he's got to do better there. I think Dagnall, not many times he's had a chance to run in on goal. I know he had Spittle for company, but made a hash of it in the end.
They've not scored bags of goals this season, Stalybridge. Dagnall's got 4 of them. He's their joint second top goal scorer, the second top scorer out of players currently at the club. Raul Correa leads the way with 9. Long ball up towards Bunny. And a half-volleyed clearance from Hall. Wardle just about manages to control. Very unorthodox. Headed it down and then chested it into the floor.
I think did what had to be done.
Absolutely. I think this is a rare occasion. We managed to make it to the 53rd minute with the same football. We've just lost the first one of the night. Usually they last about 5 minutes. Wardle with a throw down the line looking for Bunny. Headed out of play. Barragan will offer his services with his throw-in before deciding to leave it for Wardle, who does have a lengthier throw. Throw in towards the penalty area from Wardle. Cleared away in the end. Dagnall lays it back off for Miller, who not the most convincing clearance. Scarisbrick heads it down, looking for Sean Smith. Dagnall looking for Correa. Into Pedro. Spittle will deal with that. In fact, he's won his side a free kick on the touchline. Correa had a hold of the centre-back.
Yeah,
Pleads his innocence.
he's just pulling the left arm of Johnny Spittle, trying to get to the ball first. Clear one for the referee.
Isherwood will come out of his penalty area to take this one. These are a couple more goals in the Northern Premier League. Marske United have squared things at Gainsborough Trinity, currently 2-2 there. Radcliffe have gone 3-1 up at home to Belper Town after a early warning sign. Warrington Town 2-0 up at home to Lancaster City. Everything else is as we were. Long diagonal up towards Solomon Davis, who might just about be able to win it back, and does in the end. Down the line for Doyle, and here's the centre midfielder. Here's Barragan, swings it in with his left foot, headed away. Barragan might be able to come across and keep it alive. Not quite. Here's Scarisbrick now. Inside his own half to Smith. Smith, as soon as he played that ball, he knew it wasn't the best. I think you could tell. There's a coming together near the corner flag between Bunny and Miller. Referee just having a word with the number 9. It will be a free kick. Stalybridge's way. Long ball forward from Hall. Lewis Earl will be able to come across and clear that one. As far as Raheem Hanley in the left back position is Dagnall. Charlie Doyle in Dagnall's back. Gives away a free kick.
There's a couple clumsy fouls coming in by Marine. Unnecessary challenges there. Stalybridge in their own half and the back to goal. Just having a word with Charlie Doyle, this time the referee.
Charlie Doyle is someone that covers so much grass on the pitch. Another lung-busting performance on Saturday at Radcliffe. Another one so far tonight. As Rouse tries to play the ball in behind. Cleared away by Marine man. Doyle's this time is the one taking a tumble under challenge from Ethan Padden. Wins a free kick about 10 yards inside his own half. Lewis Earl, I think, will look to get the game going quickly, and does. Back to Johnny Spittle, occupying the centre position in that back three. Long ball forward from Isherwood up towards Bunny. Don't be too involved in the second half. Solomon might be able to pick it up and play it into Bunny on his left foot. Got his back to goal now inside the penalty area. Tried to lay it off for Smith. Bit of a breakdown in communications there. It's Charlie Doyle now. 30 yards from goal. Has it nicked off his toe? Scarisbrick back. Challenging as he usually does. Long ball forward and Solomon goes down. Referee waves play on. Did Marine have a case for a penalty there, Tom?
I'm not too sure if it was in the box or just outside. He definitely seemed to get pulled back there, Solomon. I think the referee just didn't want to get involved, didn't have too much of an idea.
Scarisbrick goes down and wins a free kick inside the centre circle. How many times do we say about Scarisbrick getting on the toe of an opposition man and winning a free kick? He's been at it again tonight. Absolutely fantastic from the midfielder. Bunny tried to get the game going again quickly. Thought he might have spotted Hall off his line, but he received a couple of disappointed looks from his teammates, shall we say. And it's Scarisbrick picking up the ball again in midfield. Spreads it wide to Solomon Davis. Hasn't got many options around him, so he might just try and get round Rouse. Good defending in there from the midfielder. Just to win the ball cleanly and come away with it. Plays a long ball forward up towards Correa. Falls for Earl, who, no nonsense with the clearance, out for a throw-in over the fence to the right-hand side of the Marine defence. Just looking to the bench, Tom, is there any changes in mind?
There's not much in the attacking department. You've already mentioned that, haven't you, Luke? Just mainly midfielder base. So you think at this stage in the game, think you'd see too much action in the dugout, but maybe as the game goes on and legs become tired, maybe players like Alex Doyle and Lucas Weir could find themselves on the pitch.
There's a long ball forward from the Stalybridge defence. It might just fall for Correa. It's blocked, and Miller will send it forward again, up towards Pedro. Chests it down for Correa. Slices an effort at goal. Fairly comfortable for Isherwood. Had him scrambling for a moment, but he came across and caught the ball.
Yeah, it's a bit of encouragement though, isn't it, for the visiting fans who can hear below us. Just slowly trying to build something in attack.
Isherwood plays the long ball up towards Bunny. Not the best control from him. Back to the goalkeeper. Closed down almost by Solomon. Charlie Doyle can pick it up now in a right wing position. Checks back. Here's Solomon Davis. Is he taking it too centrally? Back to Earl now. First time ball centrally to Barragan. Long way from goal, but he will try his luck. Not the best effort from Barragan. Just drags wide in the end by a couple of yards.
Correct me if I'm wrong, he's only scored from the penalty spot this season, James Barragan. Trying to change it there.
There's a man down as far as Stalybridge Celtic are concerned. I think it might be Hanley in that sort of left back position. Probably been one of the most involved players on the pitch tonight for Stalybridge, so it would be a blow. Set piece taker.
It does look like this evening could be ended as man getting stripped. Two men getting stripped, in fact, in the visiting dugout.
We can see the number 12 and the number 16 there, which would be mean the introduction of Godwin Abadaki, as well as Glebs Kluyevs. And I think it's definitely looking like the end of Raheem Hanley's night. He's moving very gingerly off the pitch with a bit of assistance from the physio. Just await confirmation of who the second player to be replaced will be.
I think it's going to be Ethan Padden to join Raheem Hanley on the bench.
Yeah, Ethan Padden has not really been too involved tonight from that midfield. A lot of the game has passed him by. So confirmation of those two changes as Raheem Hanley and Ethan Padden make way for Godwin Abadaki and Glebs Kluyevs. A long kick from the goalkeeper. Runs out of play, and Marine looked to spark a counter-attack quickly, but it's cut out, and now Stalybridge come down the right wing. They search for Pedro. He will give chase as always, and in the end, I think the final touch actually did come off of Pedro in that left back position. Sean Smith just shepherding the ball out of play. Wardle once again will be the man to launch the ball down the line. Looking for Bunny, but it comes again here for Abadaki, but it doesn't quite sit up for Benz. Cleared away. Harrison across the centre of his own pitch over towards Miller. Pedro misses that one. Now here's Dagnall looking to swing the ball into the box. Closed down quickly. Out for a throw in by the corner flag for Stalybridge. What can they make from this throw in? Not a lot. It's headed away at the near post by Smith, by Kluzebs for that throw-in. The ball is deflecting around and it might just fall in the penalty area for Stalybridge. Great save in the end by Isherwood. The ball just fell for Abadaki.
It's a fantastic save. Lotu was there from Isherwood, and we've got to give credit to Lewis Hill as well. He's sprinted across and made the angle as tight as possible. But good save by the goalkeeper.
It's really sloppy in there as the clearance pinballed around on the edge of a penalty area. Eventually it landed at the feet of Abadaki in the box, and now the corner is sent in, headed away. Commanding header by Josh Wardle. Back out for Miller. In towards the back post. It's close in there. Rouse was the one coming in at the back post. It was cleared away. Spittle has gone down inside the 6-yard box, so the game will be stopped. Holding his head, as is protocol.
This is the pressure we're talking about early in the game as Marine were controlling. Now the visitors having that spell where could easily nick a goal back from those dangerous balls into the box.
Just looking at the bench, thinking maybe someone like Jordan Lussey wouldn't be a bad shout coming off the bench. You know, he keeps the ball ticking so well. Might be someone just to come on and calm things down in the middle of the pitch. James Barragan and Charlie Doyle, two fantastic players, but players that like to play at 100 miles an hour. Get things moving quickly. Bit of frustration from the stands as the travelling supporters frustrated at the amount of time that the referee is taking to get the game going again.
Yeah, just a bit of confusion of what the situation is. I'm pretty sure Stalybridge did have the ball at the back when the referee stopped the game.
I think it will be a drop ball for Marine to send forward, and they won't just let it run through to the goalkeeper. They will go for the ball. It's cleared away, and here's Wardle over to Lewis Hill now, very composed on the ball, sends it wide and looks to dink it forward, looking for Bunny. Goalkeeper Greg Hall out of his box well to clear.
Greg Hall's last one of the clearances is certainly Marine put the pressure on him. He's not dealt with it all well.
About 3/4 of the way through the match. Still Marine lead by a single goal. Completely on top of proceedings in the first half. Not so dominant in the second half. Stalybridge started to throw a few men forward. Liam Isherwood has made a smart save down to his left. Can Marine find that second goal and give themselves a bit of a cushion? The last thing they need is to go and concede and give all the momentum to the away side, who have been in good form. Corner taken quickly by Barragan. Gets it back and sends a deep one in towards the back post. It's headed by a man on the floor. It's not completely cleared away yet. And here's Barragan picking up again and sending it out to Earl. Tries to stab it back in towards the back post. Cleared away. Dagnall looks to spread it wide to Benz. Benz loses out, and here's Doyle. Back to Scarisbrick, takes a touch. Tries his luck, it might just fall for Sean Smith at the back post though. Sends one in towards the centre. Met by Bunny, but cleared away. There is a Marine man down, just in front of the dugouts, but still they come again until the referee eventually deems that the play must be stopped. I think it's Sol Solomon.
Yeah, just a bit of concern with the medics, Marine medics. Solomon, just hope he's okay here.
The last man that Neil Young will want to see down on the ground. 11 goals to his name this season.
He's almost picks himself every week now, doesn't he? Sol Solomon. You couldn't imagine a Marine starting lineup without his name in and amongst it at the moment.
Last goal, other than tonight, came against Stafford Rangers here at the MTA. Fantastic goal as Curran rescued a long ball forward from Lussey. Crossed it into the box Solomon took it down with his left, turned under a little bit of pressure from a defender. Absolutely sat the defender down before calmly slotting into the back of the net. Solomon is back to his feet now and raring to get back on. But as is protocol, he will have to wait until he's signalled by the referee to come back on after receiving treatment. The ball should be going back to Marine here as Lewis Earl had the ball at his feet. And the referee blew his whistle. I'm just waiting to see how it's going. It's a contested one as Lewis Earl manages to send it forward despite pressure from Benz. It's cleared away by a Stalybridge man. Wardle takes it down into Scarisbrick. Turns down to Charlie Doyle. And here's Earl once again. Sends the ball forward looking for Solomon Davis. Cleared away, and Abadaki has absolutely floored Charlie Doyle in there. Is it Charlie Doyle? Sorry.
Yeah, I think he was a tad later, Abadaki, but I don't think it was too much for the Marine bench to get upset about. But there was a bit of concern and a bit of scuffling there around the referee.
It wasn't Doyle, it might have been Scarisbrick, sorry.
Expecting a booking it.
And it is a booking for the substitute, Godwin Abadaki, for that challenge on Angie Scarisbrick. Solomon back on the pitch now. We'll get the game back underway with this free kick. Centre-backs have made their way forward in Spittle and Wardle in towards the back post. It's headed away. A fall for Barragan. Sends it back in towards the centre. Headed away once more. Stalybridge sorts a counter-attack now. Benz looks to play it quickly over the top for Abadaki. Into the penalty area, square ball, cut out by Solomon Davis and out for a corner.
I think they're expecting an offside flag there. Charlie Doyle and Josh Wardle letting their feelings know about that, but more pressure from the Blues here.
Godwin Abadaki has given them a little bit more life up front. They were fairly stuck for ideas before his introduction. Benz is occupying Solomon Davis in the 6-yard box. Ball into the box. Bunny goes down, headed goalwards, but punched away by Isherwood and further away by Barragan. Good decisive goalkeeping there. Ball out of play for a Stalybridge throw-in, which will be taken quickly, but is dealt with well by Lewis Earl. On to what I believe is the fourth football of the night, introduced by Neil Young there. Not the best ball from Neil. Is Miller looking to send another long throw in towards the penalty area. He's got options in there now. No short options, so it will be sent in towards the 6-yard box by the looks of things. No, it's taken short into Benzu. Just made a last-minute run. It looked to bounce up back off his arm, maybe. Here's Miller, though. Left-footed ball in towards the back post. It's met by Harrison. It's missed completely by Spittle. And it runs through to Isherwood.
Yeah, got away with one, didn't he? Spittle, if it's a blue shirt behind him. An easy tap in to bring the scores level, but shagging in there at the moment, Marine. You do think might soon be time to bring on some legs from the bench.
73 minutes played. We are still in the lead by the single goal in the 12th minute from Sol Solomon. One ball forward now from Doyle, looking for Bunny. It's cleared away, but it might drop for Barragan. He's got Smith to his left, overlapping. Into the penalty area brilliantly from Smith. In towards the back post, just over the head of Doyle. The back post now is Solomon Davis. Tries to send it back into the box. It's deflected behind for a corner.
I think the only negative you can have on this Marine performance is sometimes the final ball into the box isn't always up to scratch. Smith did really well to get in the position he did. delivery. Couldn't find a white shirt.
We're just struggling to get Bunny much service in the penalty area at the minute. Need to get a few more balls on his head and into his body. Barragan coming across to take the corner now for Marine. Just the two wing-backs stayed back. Sean Smith and Solomon Davis. In towards the near post from Sean Smith, headed away. Solomon will keep it alive to Scarisbrick. Looks to loop one back in towards the 6-yard box. Better goalkeeping this time from Greg Hall to take it off ahead of Wardle. Looks to get the game going again quickly. Here is Benz. Being held up by Smith. Good challenge in there by Smith. Falls for Abadaki though, and back to a right back position to Benz. Looking for Pedro at the back post. Heads it back into the 6-yard box. Off his line quickly is Isherwood.
I think he just didn't gamble there. It's Raul Correa coming in. He was there ready to pounce. He just didn't gamble on the header coming back from Pedro.
Isherwood rolls out quickly for Sean Smith, who's got Solomon down his line. Forward now to Bunny in the penalty area. Turns back, looking for someone to lay the ball off to. Here's Doyle. Always makes himself an option. Barragan, and now all the way back to the halfway line with Smith. A risky ball across the pitch, looking for Spittle, which is cut out. Dagnall goes down under a bit of a shove from Spittle. Ref waves play on until the advantage is not there. He does blow his whistle. I think he knew what he was doing there, Johnny Spittle. Just wanted to stop the game.
Kind of made the foul and just got back in position. This is a counter-attack opening up there for Celtic.
About 15 minutes to go. Still just a 1-goal lead for Marine despite all these chances, all this possession. The outright dominance of the first half. Celtic have made a better showing of themselves in the second half. Marine not been quite as dominant. And they have forced a save out of Liam Isherwood. Long ball forward, looking for Rouse, is cleared away now by Spittle. Scarisbrick takes it down well. Now will look to stretch his legs. Good challenge there from Benz. Cleared forward for Stalybridge, headed away by Doyle. It comes again now for Stalybridge. Lewis Hill read it brilliantly. Cleared out of play for a Stalybridge throw-in. Benz will leave it for Miller into Rouse. Back to Miller now. Started at right back, now on the left. Into the penalty area. It might just fall for Pedro at the back post. He lays it back off for Harrison. Tries his luck. It was Klujev, sorry. Not the best shot from the substitute there.
No, you have to think there's a wrong option. He had all the time in the world to pick across with a number of blue shirts in the box, but fired wide.
Isherwood to get us back underway with his goal kick. Sean Smith's made an option of himself on wide left, and he's absolutely outraged that he's not received the ball. Isherwood ushers him away. Back to his usual target, Joe Bunny. Unable to win this one. It might just drop for Scarisbrick. Fast touch off of Abadaki and out for a Marine throw-in. And a right back position will be Lewis Earle to take, you would imagine. Still no changes for Marine so far, just 2 for Stalybridge. We do have another at their disposal. Throw down the line from Earle, looking for Scarisbrick, headed away from a Stalybridge standpoint. Rouse wide now for Pedro, given a bit to do. Unable to keep it in on that right hand side. Pedro has had a frustrating evening on that right wing for Stalybridge.
Yeah, I mean, it's time for a bit of game management. You can see from Marine on either side of the thrones, there's no rush to get the game back on the way. I'm just hoping to keep the clean sheet and take the 3 points.
Clutch down the line by Wardle, but it comes again for Stalybridge, and Barragan steps in quickly to hack a clearance out of play. Kluzhevs with the throw in, filling in at right back after Hanley's injury forced Miller over to the left-hand side. Headed away by Wardle and then Doyle. Rouse will head forward again for Stalybridge and away by Doyle once more. Solomon unable to take down, but manages to sweep a ball forward for Bunny, which Harrison will coolly nod back to Hall. Some poor distribution again from Hall, and Scarisbrick able to take it down after Earl's ball forward. Rouse absolutely wiped out Scarisbrick. The referee waved to play on, so no free kick given.
Thought it was a fair challenge, to be honest, and Rouse got the ball.
There's no complaints from Scarisbrick anyway. It's Kluzhevs. Ball forward, again looking for Pedro. It's poor once more. Looks like Jordan Lussey is going to be introduced here. Looks like the number 3 went up there, so it's going to be Sean Smith. You would imagine this means Barragan over to the left-hand side. What do you make of Sean Smith's performance this evening, Tom?
Yeah, he's been brilliant, as he has been 95% of the games we've seen this season. He's been on all of his tackles and solid. The energy he's provided up and down the pitch, and yeah, maybe that's to do with the substitution. Maybe he's just run himself into the ground. But I think it will be Barragan slotting in to that left-hand side, as we've seen a few times this season.
First change of the evening. Jordan Lussey comes on. It's been one of the Marines' consistent performers in midfield in recent weeks. Just keeps things ticking over from a holding midfield point of view, and of course does offer that secret weapon with a long throw in. It's Miller in the centre of the pitch now is Rouse. Stalybridge looking to force an equaliser. Good challenge in there from Lussey, stops Benz from making way down the left wing. Dagnall back to Miller, skips away from Lussey, wide now to Benz, onto his right foot, into the box, headed away by Spittle. Solomon takes it down well with his chest and gives him a bit of space to run into. Good dink forward looking for Bunny, who will give chase, but it's not really his game. It's away from Harrison, but Bunny does well to close him down. Out for a throw-in.
Yeah, he's been feeding off the scraps in the second half, Joe Bunny, but he's done well on his furthest player up the pitch. He's put pressure on the Stalybridge back line. That's all you can do when you don't have the ball at his feet like his usual game is.
Throw down the line now for Stalybridge into the feet of Benz. Solomon comes across well to put a big challenge in. Throw again down the line, headed away by Earl. Abadaki gets his body in the way, goes down under the challenge from Lussey. Referee blows his whistle. Free kick Stalybridge's way.
Yeah, it's the clumsy one by Lussey. He's just come onto the pitch. He's trying to get in amongst the action, but he's allowed visitors to have a chance to put some bodies forward here.
Chance to get a ball in the box now. In towards the back post, away from Doyle. Abadaki back into the centre. Punched away by Isherwood. Free kick goes the way of Marine after Charlie Doyle goes down holding his head. 25 yards from goal.
Yeah, just congratulating the goalkeeper there, Isherwood. He made a vital punch to deal with the danger, but there Charlie Doyle put his head in where it hurts. Not the first time I've said that this season.
Yep, brave work in there from Charlie Doyle. Once again, gives it absolutely everything. Every time he's out on the pitch. Warrior in midfield. Isherwood will get us back underway with this free kick. Long ball up towards Bunny, unable to win this one. It's cleared away. Spittle high but not very far with the clearance, and Doyle first to it, but now picked up by Rouse. Challenging there. Sees it go out for a Stalybridge throw-in. Another change for Stalybridge. Looks like Harry Benz. Harry Benz is the man to make way. It's operated on the left-hand side. Operated on the left-hand side tonight. Replaced by Aaron Gruel. Another throw in towards the 6-yard box. The last touch came off of Andy Scarisbrick. But the referee has given a goal kick. A big grin from Scarisbrick there to the travelling fans. I think he knows he's got away with one there, Tom.
Yeah, I think that was a certain header. He almost looked into his own net. Ends up with a goal kick. We'll take that one. There's a bit of confusion here. I think the man has just come off the bench. I think it might be Aaron Gruel. He's been told by the referee to go back off the field.
Well, I'm not sure what's gone off there, but in the midst of all that, there has been a second Marine change. Josh Solomon Davis' evening is over. Alex Doyle has made his way onto the pitch. Shoring up that midfield area. You would imagine Jordan Lussey will shift over to right back now, which it looks like he has. What do you make of Josh Solomon Davis' evening, Tom?
Yeah, it's been a bit quiet in the second half, especially that first opening 20 minutes. He's up and down that right-hand side. Been brilliant. As we've seen him, his physicality and his pace, but it's going to be a tough last few minutes here. Unorthodox back line. Two midfielders at wing back. Going to have to hang in there, Marine.
Just shows how stretched this Marine squad is at the moment. More midfielders than they know what to do with. Long ball into the box, headed away by Wardle. Solomon back to Lussey. Bit of a sliced clearance, but Scarisbrick might be able to control. It's just nicked off him by Miller. Back to the goalkeeper Hall, and wide now with Gruel. Barragan nips in there, looks down the line for Solomon. Nips away from Gruel, tried to stay on his feet, but couldn't in the end, and wins his side a free kick. Good play from Solomon. News of a few goals in and around the playoffs, and Gainsborough Trinity lead by 6-2 against Marcy United. Radcliffe currently 4 goals to the good, 4-1 up against Belper Town. Solomon steps over his free kick and has a chance to produce a second for Marine. In towards the back post, it's met by Bunny, I believe, but the last touch came off of a Stalybridge man, and it's out for a corner.
Just checking on the welfare there of Joe Bunny. I think signal to the bench, he will be alright. He's taking a sting out of the game.
I'm not sure what these shouts are, but it looks like Bunny will be okay. He's back to his feet now. Solomon to take the corner. It's an in-swinging one. I've seen him attempt a shot from these positions a couple of times, successfully at Lancaster. In towards the back post. I think he went for it again, and it's just tipped over by Greg Hall. It's maybe something that you see a corner taker attempt once or twice, but it seems like it's most games with Solomon.
Yeah, he wasn't ready for it, was he? Greg Hall. Just enough. The last ditch of time to get a hand to it. He's going to go over again here, Solomon.
Under a minute and a half to go until injury time. Solomon comes across to the other side now to take this corner. Outswinger towards the back post. There's a man fairly unmarked. I think it was Spittle. Stalybridge tried to get the game going again quickly, but the ball had gone out of play. And the ball forward is cut out by Doyle, and it's Scarisbrick once again. Barragan looks to play it quickly down the line for Solomon, who's come back over to his favoured left-hand side position. Tries to cut inside, just can't quite squeeze through the gap as it nicked off his toe. The clearance rebounds back off Solomon into the penalty area. Bunny unable to take it under his control, gives away a free kick. Tom, I'll just ask you to start thinking about your man of the match for this evening. I'll come back to you in a couple of minutes. Long ball forward up to Correa. Cleared away by Wardle. The throw-in goes the way of Marine. "90 minutes has been played. We wait to see how much will be added on. No signal from the bench. Well, subs board just going up now. It will be 5 minutes added on at the end of this second half. Cleared away by Spittle. Up towards Solomon, who has been dragged back there by Harrison. Nothing given. It's Rouse. Square ball to Miller. Spread wide. Looking for Kluzhevs. Way too much on that. It's a poor ball. Tom, well, I've got a breaking play. I'll just ask you, who is your commentary man of the match tonight?
We'll just wait to hear what the official man of the match has gone the way of Sean Smith. Personally, I would have gone Andy Scarisbrick just on the basis of that first half. I thought he's best player on the pitch. I think the second half's been a much tighter affair, and it's been tricky to point out a man, but I just think his work off the ball, his work on the ball equals itself, and another outstanding performance.
Another top performance for Andy Scarisbrick. A word on Lewis Hill's performance tonight as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Especially his passing. I think it's something that we haven't seen as much as we have tonight. Forward play and his ideas, but also his defensive play. I think he does suit that right side of a back three, and I imagine he'll be getting involved in a few more games in his lone time.
Throwing in a left back position for Stalybridge, launched down the line by Tom Miller. Looking for Correa, headed away by Earl. Headed up and forward by Doyle. And here's Alex Doyle now, sorry. Wide now with Barragan. He's got space to run into down the left wing. Into the box. Looking for Bunny. Can't quite connect at the back post. Here's Miller now for the visitors. Forward once more from Harrison. It's a very straight one, cleared away by Earl. Abadaki picks it up for Stalybridge. Goes down under the challenge from Charlie Doyle. Can't believe he's given away a free kick there, but I think he's been booked. Well, Scarisbrick's been booked, sorry, for something that he might have said there.
I think it was just knocking the ball away after Scarisbrick, but it's going to be, I think, the last opportunity for Stalybridge to put their name in this game. Certainly be a frustrating one. I feel like a loss more than a draw if this was to find the back of the net.
It is very much a shooting position. Slightly left of centre. It will be Carrera to step up. It's low and it's straight at the goalkeeper, Liam Isherwood. Much to the pleasure of the Marine fans behind the goal.
Yeah,
not what Carrera was looking for there.
Bread and butter for Liam Isherwood, you say. I think he deserves a shout out as well, coming into his first game in front of the home fans. I think he's done everything right. And anything that's come his way he's dealt with.
The ball back to Hall at the other end is dealt with well by the goalkeeper, and he's played a long ball forward that Lewis Earle has to deal with, and in the end, smart play from Earle, just back-heeling out for a throw-in rather than giving away a corner. Pedro gets the ball back in play quickly. Here's Kluzevs. Back into Rouse, sorry. Out of play for a throw-in. Miller looks to launch it into the box, headed away by Charlie Doyle. Bunny can't quite take it down with his shoulder. Here's Gruel now over on the inside right position. Dagnall looks to slot it through. Abadaki made the run into the penalty area, but that might be the last chance forward for Stalybridge. 20 seconds to go off the 5 added on. And Marine, have they done enough to secure the win?
Well, I have to say, I think the scoreline flatters Stalybridge more than the Mariners. That first half should have been at least 3 to the good.
And there is the referee's full-time whistle. That first half goal from Sol Solomon fired into the bottom left corner in a half absolutely dominated by Marine. Stalybridge Celtic came into it in the second half, but Solomon's 11th goal of the season, enough to confirm all 3 points as Marine jump back into playoff contention. Thank you to everyone who's listened tonight, and we'll see you on Saturday for the trip to Belper Town.